So yeah, look, I don't know how many fat guys can relate to this, but I'm a fat guy, and I've been doing this for ages during my fat eras, which have been plentiful. There's been some slim king eras, but mostly fat eras. Okay, and I don't know. Again, if you're a fat guy and you do this, let me know. But I do this quite often, and that's all of a sudden I'll be like, I'm gonna go on a health fucking kick, and in my mind it's like this thing's gonna stick forever, but it rarely does, right? And last night I got on one of those mindsets, and I said, yeah, I'm gonna do something healthy here. Instead of eating, I'm gonna get this bag of carrots that's damn near full, and I'm gonna make me, like a little shake. Put some fucking Greek yogurt in there, some carrots, some ice, a little water, blend that boy up, and drink it. It's gonna taste good, guy. Spoiler alert: tastes like garbage. But I drank it, and it was a hefty boy, like a super big gulp size deal. So I mean, all the healthy probably went out the window. I didn't add any sugar to it, but I gotta assume that any form of consumption is gonna spike the old blood sugar, right? So anyway, drank that boy, tasted like garb, but I was like, whatever, it's done. No response from my system, so that was cool. This morning, that was last night. This morning, I get up and go over to mom's place, and she's like, "Yo, let's go pay some bills, man." So I go with her, and she decides, to swing by the Goodwill for my sake, because I love to drop in that Goodwill. And we go in the damn stinky Goodwill, get my shit, and she's like, "Hey, you want to eat?" And right then and there, the fucking any any concern for my health went out the window. We went and ate pizza at a buffet of all places, a shitty buffet no less. I mean, I kept it. I moderated it as much as I could, but it's still fucking pizza. So ate that pizza up, and once we're all said and done, I was like, I gotta visit the boys' room, guy. So I go to the boys' room. I don't know why I'm calling it the boys' room. Definitely nobody's smoking in there. But the point is, I go to a fucking crapper, and I take a leak, and as I'm standing there, I'm like, I think I have to shit, but I'm like, nah, man, nah, I'm good, you know. So we get back in the vehicle, and she's like, "Hey, you want to go anywhere else?" And just so happens there was one of those discount places. What's the stupid thing called? Didi's. And I'm like, maybe there's something there. Let's go there. So we go there, and the moment I set foot in that Didi's, I gotta take a big doo doo. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking bad, bro. It's knocking at my freaking bung. So I'm like, oh, no. So I hold it as well as I could. There's nothing there, and I'm hinting because I mean I don't want to step on her toes. Maybe she wanted to browse around, but I'm kind of like, man, let's get out of here. Finally, she gets the hint. We get in line, and I'm like, yo, give me them keys. I gotta go outside because I feel like I can release some of the pressure that is currently building up in my innards by tooting up a storm outside, right? So I go outside, and the toots ain't helping. I'm just gonna say that they are not helping, bro. It was bad, painful bad. So I go back in, I give her the keys, and I go, I'm gonna go to the Peter Piper Pizza that's, which by the way, not where we went. It just so happens there was another pizza place there, but the Peter Piper Pizza, a few doors down to take a fucking mad slice, man, and not of pizza, of turd. So, man, that place was not as close as I thought. So I'm walking over there like a penguin, basically, right? And I feel it, dude. I feel a log creeping out of my friggin' bunghole, man. But I feel also that it's still not breached the cheek area. It hasn't touched cloth. It definitely hasn't sluiced out entirely. So I'm like, I'm still good. But as I get closer to the door of that Peter Piper Pizza, I'm like, this boy has touched my undies. This turd has touched undie. That's okay as long as I don't let it all slide out. I mean, we're going home right after. It should be fine. I walk into that Peter Piper Pizza. Of course, the toilets are all the way at the ass end of this massive thing. I get there. I'm like, oh no, this is bad. Now I'm like, those undies are mad stained. I go into the toilet, And what do I hear but the immediate sounds of laughter? What is that I hear? Is that The Price is Right? Oh no. Yes, that's right. There's only one toilet that I can use. The other one's out of service. I've just resigned to the fact that my undies is stained and I'm going to have to do a cleanup job. So while he watches his fucking show and hopefully shits, I go and get some paper towels and wet the shit out of them because they're going to come in useful, right? Well, it's not happening, bro. This guy's not moving, and it becomes increasingly evident that the dude is just slacking off. So I just go into the fucking the toilet that's out of function. I'm like, I'm gonna drop them boys off at that pool. I don't give a shit if it's not gonna get cleaned. Thankfully, there was no turds already floating there or piss, but the thing didn't flush, right? So, man, I'm such agony that I just pull my fucking pantaloons down and squat. And before I even get down to the seat, I can already feel those turds coming out. And when I sit, they're sluicing out at like 95 miles per hour, right? But I sit and I look down. That's not even my concern. I feel relief from that. What I'm seeing between my legs is my undies that are mad stained. And I'm like, oh no. So I start cleaning those boys with the towels while my bowels evacuate. And I hear the dude next door clearly not shitting and just watching this fucking shit, damn near breathing like a freaking Neanderthal. What is that, man? Just fucking take your non-shit, get the hell out of there while I fucking evacuate my soul. But anyway, whatever. I'm cleaning my fucking undies, man. And that's when I see that the stains are in some strange places. Like, it's almost like a track. And I know what you're thinking. I mean, you got a butt crack. Clearly that boy got squeezed. But let me tell you, I knew that boy wasn't squeezed. You know? I felt that log intact. But what I'm seeing says different. There's something going on there. So I pull them undies, like, up. The back of the undies, I pull them forward. And I realize that there's turds on the waistline. Not only of the undie, but of my fucking pants, man. And I'm like, what? Ah, man. So by then I'm, the shit shot out so fast that I'm done in that department. So I'm like, let me clean up my ass first. So I do that shit. Boom, boom, boom. Literally that shit. Clean my ass. It's all over my cheeks and shit. Well, not totally my cheeks, but the rim of my cheeks. They're all fucking stained, and I'm like, going by the pattern in my undie, I probably got shit up higher than the normal cheek area, right? So I go up, and there's some stuff there. And by the way, I'm doing the tilt and wipe, right? So I'm tilting to the side and wiping, and that means one of my feet is kind of propping me up, and the other foot is kind of slid a little bit to like under my abdominal area. And God damn it. When I straighten up to get some more toilet paper, I stretch that toilet paper out, I'm folding it, and I happen to glance down in front of the area where my pants were before I shifted my legs. And there's a there's a turd print on the fucking floor, man. And it has my shoes pattern on it. So sure enough, I move my pant, and there's like half a turd like sticking out from underneath the heel of my shoe. And on the floor is further smearing of poo. So what happened was, since this dumbass didn't get out of the fucking toilet, the turd had crept out. Or at least part of the turd had crept out and into my underwear. And I didn't notice because I was desperately trying to hold the rest of the turd in. So when I sat down so quick and I pulled down my pants and underwear and shit, that turd had rolled out of my pant in the process of me sitting down and over the lip of my, rolled out of my underwear and over the lip of my pant and onto the floor. And I didn't notice that. And in the process of me shifting to tilt and wipe, I had smushed that boy straight into the tiles. Then I realized this guy next door is clearly an employee. And from his fucking angle, his point of view, he can clearly see that this turd has rolled out onto the floor and it's being smushed all over the freaking tile, right? And I'm like, oh, this sucks. And this guy will not budge, man. He's like intent on watching The Price is Right. Or really what I think at this point is like, he's just trying to see what I do with the turd situation. So now the paper towels come into the work. You know, I do as much wiping as I can with them wet boys. Thank God I thought of that before going into the crapper. And tidy up the ass area as much as I can. But then I'm like, now I have to like somehow tidy up my pants as well, so, and hope that the bottom, you know how when you pull your pants down, obviously they kind of are at risk of hitting the floor. So I'm like, I hope that the bridge between legs area, whatever that's fucking called, of the pant, I hope that didn't touch the turd on the floor that I smushed with my own fucking shoe. So I'm not sure unless I can totally, completely pull up the pant and look, or pull it off and look, and I'm in such a small stall that I can't, you know, like take the pan off and look and make sure that nowhere on there is there more shit. But I can't pull it up either, because then if there is shit, I'll just get it all over myself. So I'm like, this sucks. So I just sit there, man. I just sit there wallowing in my fucking filth until this guy just gives up the ghost and walks out. And as he's walking out and by in front of the stall that I am in, I happen to glance, you know, between in the cracks. And sure enough, he's wearing the fucking uniform. You know, so he got out. I'm like, I can't pull up this entire pant situation until I'm sure that there's not shit all over it. I kind of pull him up, like sort of up. I mean, obviously I'm covering my crotch, but my ass is still kind of exposed. And I get out of that stall, go get more towels, wet them, risk getting caught in the whole time, and make it back to the stall that he fucking left behind, which was the disabled stall, right? So that's got more space, and I get in there. Thankfully, nobody came in. I get in there, and I take my pants off and see, and thankfully it didn't get anywhere else. It just had literally rolled over the lip of the back of my pants. And but my shoe is a disaster. It's got like half a turd in the heel, and it's in the grooves. And those grooves, baby, let me tell you, they're deep. So I do the cleanup as best I can, and then I go back into the stall where I was at, and I fucking clean the floor where the turd was stomped on. And then I go to the sink and take my shoe off and try to get the turd out of the you know, the little grooves on the fucking soles of my what are they fucking called? My shoes. Anyway, it's not working, guy. You know, I'm blowing the water in there, and that's a stubborn turd. Now I can bang them boys, but then I risk flinging the little turdlets onto me. So, you know, I just kind of try to get in there with the towels, nothing. So I, you know, get as much as I can out, and I put the fucking shoe back on. I had taken off my jacket that I was wearing and had slung it over the baby changing station. At that very moment, when I put my shoe back on, a dude comes in with his baby, little kid. Well, it was, you know, toddler anyway. And I'm like, oh crap! So I have to get the jacket, and I haven't washed my hands yet. You know, I sling it over my shoulder there, and I wash my hands, and I walk out going, I'm full of shit. So I'm editing this, and I'm like, how did I leave out this detail? I set it all up, and I didn't bring it up, probably because I was remembering the trauma of this whole scenario. But here it is to bring this beautiful Hollywood story to its finale. My shit was orange as hell. I'm talking blazing orange, boy. Them carrots did me dirty. My ass was dirty because of the way they did me dirty, and I don't like that. Anyway, back to the video. So, yep. I drove back home, had to shower, and fucking clean all my clothes. I'm just gonna say this. I realize that working a 9 to 5 at some bullshit place sucks, especially if it's slow or it's super busy. But find another place to fucking bullshit, man. Please. Or if you're gonna bullshit and somebody clearly has to take a shit and you know the situation is broken restroom, unbroken restroom, and you're in the one that works, the fuck out of there, man. You know what I'm saying? I wish I would have seen the dude's face so that I could be like, what the fuck, bro? Really, I wish I would have said something in the toilet situation, but I was too concerned with so much crap everywhere. So, anyway, shit myself again in public. Thoughts?